Thank you, National Coffee Association, for this honor. And thank you to Mother Parker's Coffee and Tea for this opportunity. I am so grateful to accept the 2021 NCA Origin Charity of the Year Award on behalf of Root Capital. Since 1999, Root Capital has invested in the growth of agricultural enterprises like coffee farmer cooperatives so they can transform rural communities at origin. And as these businesses grow, they become engines of impact, raising farmer incomes, promoting gender equity, creating good jobs for the next generation, and helping rural communities adapt to the threat of climate change. And what we do is supply these businesses with access to capital and tailored capacity building, and we do so in hard to serve geographies where others simply don't, across Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia. So 20 years ago, we saw the big challenges that these agribusinesses face in accessing credit in markets. Most were in the missing middle, too big for a microloan and too small for a bank. And since making our first loan to a small coffee farmer cooperative in Guatemala 2 decades ago, Root Capital has worked with hundreds and hundreds of farmer businesses in some of the world's most remote places, providing the credit and training they need to succeed, and always alongside our partners in the coffee industry, many of whom are here virtually with us today. So to date, we've lent $1.5 billion to nearly 750 businesses that have improved incomes and opportunities for almost 10 million people. And we've provided training to well over 1,500 enterprises. And along the way, we've seen time and again the outsized impact that these well-supported agricultural businesses can have, how they strengthen our global supply chain as more reliable supplier partners, how they strengthen rural communities as more valuable allies for coffee farmers. So all good, and yet, despite all that impact along the way, and especially in recent years, significant disruptions in natural forces, and I of course mean climate change, and the market shock of COVID-19 have utterly buffeted people and places in the communities we serve. Climate change is an existential threat. We know this, fundamentally imperiling farmer livelihoods worldwide. Some impacts like coffee leaf rust or last November's twin hurricanes in Central America take the form of a full-blown crisis, but farmers face the effects of climate change every day. Climate change also has disproportionate impact on women's already unequal access to resources and opportunities, and it worsens the already massive unemployed youth population in low and middle income countries. And now as the vaccine rollout mercifully ramps up here in the US and abroad in the face of the pandemic, coffee growing communities far from health centers will be amongst the last to be reached. These are huge challenges for rural communities and coffee farmers. Yet we know from our work over the last 20 years, we can harness the power of agricultural businesses to help rural communities become more resilient. Coffee farmer businesses can be innovation partners, the greatest allies we have in fighting the challenges facing our industry and our world. COVID-19 has taught us that it's not enough for rural communities to simply bounce back from challenges. They must be able to bounce forward to a more sustainable and prosperous future. Resilience is the key to that future. Partners across the coffee industry and smallholder agricultural sectors must unite. We must unite to provide enterprises with the tools and resources they need to build that resilience. And that means investing in access to finance, in gender inclusion, in jobs for the next generation, and most urgently in climate action. We can transform the coffee industry and the world together. And if you'd like to join us as a partner in that journey, as a client, as an investor, as a buyer, as a donor, I encourage you to visit our virtual booth here at the convention or learn more about Root Capital on our website. And to those of you who have already joined us, thank you for your continued support. On behalf of myself, the Root Capital team, and smallholder farming families around the world. And thank you again to the NCA for this great honor.